Hey, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing today in the beehive and the supplies that we need when we start getting into our bees. It's fall, it's October the 1st, and we got some birds making noise up here. Got the goats eating a little food, pigs are behind you, and we're going to show you what you need to get into your beehive. First thing you need to know, in the fall we're looking to make sure that our bees have enough pollen stored and enough honey to last through the winter. So if they don't, we'll probably feed them a little bit of sugar water. I don't use high fructose corn syrup. A lot of beekeepers do. It's cheap, it's crap, and I don't use it. So we use sugar. We mix sugar and water. We use about 2/3 of a gallon jar of sugar, and we mix it with warm water, shake it, and pour it into our hive top feeders, which you'll see me install in a few minutes. So here are the things that we're going to use in our beehive when we go in. We've got a smoker, need a lighter. This goes inside the smoker. It sits in the bottom right here. We also need a hive tool, and I used to smoke my bees with all sorts of things, leaves and stuff like that, but I find the easiest and best thing is a burlap sack. You can find burlap sacks at most of your like farm supply stores. If you can't find them there, then just ask them about it and you most likely can order it. If they can't get them, then you need a new farm store. That's not a farm store, that's a city boy store, and that's not where we go to get our farm stuff. Burlap. So we got the beehives here behind us. Time to change hats. Put the bee suit on and get into these hives, and we'll give you a little tour of what's going on in the beehive here in the fall. Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge Farmer. We're all suited up with our bee equipment on, and I'm going to show you how to light your smoker. So we've got our burlap sack, we cut it in half. We've got our cigarette lighter, and we have our smoker. We're going to take our burlap, stuff it in our smoker just a little ways, and we're going to turn it up and light it. And it immediately catches up. This is why I've been using burlap. Stuff it in a little bit, light a little bit more, get it burning good like this. Got a good flame going there. Stuff it in my smoker, give it some puffs, let that flame catch up, feed it some oxygen. We're burning good. I'm going to turn it upside down a little bit so it catches up. And we're ready to cover it. That's how we light our smoker. Now we got the smoker rolling. Cheech and Chong style. Oh yeah. One thing I may not have mentioned is to make sure that your zipper is not open, because bees love the crotch. They like the crotch. It's warm, it's cozy, and a great place to sting. Things swell up down there even when they're not stung. So check your zipper, buddy. So here's our bees going into our hive. Looking pretty good. Getting this smoker going nice. I'm going to smoke the front of the hive. Lots of good smoke. This is my lovely, delectable assistant. She is going to hold things for me. Here's the front of our hive. We've smoked them. They've got a little bit active. And they're a little grumpy today. Lots of pollen coming into the hive. We're going to open it. Here's how I open. I take my hand like karate and go boop, and pop it open. This is our screen top board. And our hive appears to be doing pretty well. I'll smoke them down. Pop the lid. Check them out. Not too grumpy, as far as I can tell. Okay. So we're going to see what's going on here in the hive for the fall, what I want to see here in the top of the hive is a lot of honey. So we've taken the hive tool here and broken loose this frame, and we're going to slide it out, see if we've got honey. Maybe a little bit of brood up here, but mainly honey. It appears to be stuck in pretty good, so that means I got a lot of burr comb down in the bottom, but we're loaded down with delicious honey, and that's what we want. Looking down in the hive, it looks healthy. I am not going to disturb this hive any further. So now that we've checked inside the hive, I'm going to clean up a little bit on the top. I'm going to give my hive a little lift. Give myself a guesstimate of how heavy it is. It's probably at about 115 pounds. 10 frame hive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should weigh about 60 pounds per super full of honey. So we should be totally good here. We may crack down into one layer down. So at this point we're one super down from where we were before. I'm going to take a frame out in the center here and see if we have any brood. So I've got my frame out and I'm seeing brood here, okay? So it looks pretty good, a little patchy. Wouldn't expect it to be amazing this time of year. Don't see my queen, and I don't see any fresh eggs. We're going to close it up and call it good. So at this point we're going to put our super back on the top, and these are all medium supers, 10 frame medium. We're going to set her back up there. She's full of honey, a good 60 pounds. We'll install our hive top feeder. Our hive top feeder will be installed with the screen part down the hill, so all the nectar flows that way, or the sugar water flows that way. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in an entrance reducer. To help discourage robbing. I hope we're going to put one in. So we're going to reduce our entrance down. Later on, we'll reduce our size of our entrance down to the smallest size so that we prevent robbing. There's our entrance reducer, and our bees are bringing in lots of pollen. Our goldenrod is in bloom right now, so the bees are loaded down with pollen. Kind of cool to watch. I want to talk to you a little bit about city bees versus country bees. City bees are nice and sweet. They'll not sting you, and you can sit out there. I used to sit out in front of my bees in the city and drink a cup of coffee 5 feet from the entrance, and everything was great. Now I moved to the country. The bees don't see me as much, and they will sting me right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Because country bees are mean. Going into hive number 2. Vanna, please hold my smoker. This hive is much weaker than the other hive. This hive has no honey, really, to speak of. That's the very center of the hive, which is normally the last to go. We really don't have much honey to speak of. So this hive will need to be fed. We're going to put a hive top feeder, and we're going to feed it sugar water, and we're also going to put a entrance reducer, and we're going to put a robbing screen, because these bees are weaker than those bees, and they're only 2 together, so the potential to rob is great. So since this hive is weaker than the other hive, we're going to put it down to our smallest hole on our entrance reducer. Okay. This is a robbing screen. See? Do I look like a robber? No, because I'm behind the robbing screen. So robbers can't get behind the robbing screen. Right here is an entrance. The bees go normally in and out through there. Once I start feeding my bees, I'll have this entrance open right here. So it'll be closed for now, but once I start feeding my bees, this will get closed and this one will be open. Okay? It's blocked so robber bees can't see what's behind here, that the other bees are going in right behind there and not being seen. Okay? So they'll stop robbing and this hive will do well. I'm going to start feeding this hive today, so there'll be a lot of activity around it. Putting this in, I'll open this robbing screen, I'll open the top. It's that easy, okay? At some point, we may end up zipping a screw in here, but that's it right now. So, once we start feeding, we'll cut them off and open here. About 3 weeks ago, we stopped seeing activity in this hive right here. We've lost this hive, so we're going to get into it and see what happened. If there are dead bees in there, if hive beetles took over, or varroa mite. I do not treat my hives for varroa mite. I do not treat them with anything other than essential oils, and I give them a little sugar water now and then. Where our bees want to survive naturally, and we're not going to use chemicals or antibiotics for our bees. That's just the way it is on Stoney Ridge Farm. Alright, we're going to crack into our dead hive. Immediately, I smell foul smell, and I have these stinking, dirty moths. What does that tell me? Hive moths. Okay? Pop the lid off here. This one really hasn't been touched. Pop the lid off here, and what you have is disgusting, gross hive moth damage. You can see the nastiness, you can see all the way through. So what I'll do is clean these up. I'll either burn them or reuse them. We'll just see how it goes. But that's what's happened. I don't see any dead bees in the hive, which is good. I don't see any honey in the hive either. So that means they've probably been robbed out and they died, or these bees just left this colony. But it's not colony collapse disorder, it is bees left the colony and the moths took over. So this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer, and this is Danielle, my trusty wife, and we thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, learned a little something. Subscribe! Woo! Give me your best. Woo!
Woo!
Come on, give me a good one.
Woo!
So who's the gassiest farmer of them all?
That would be Josh, the Stoney Ridge Farmer.
Who likes the beans?
You like the beans.
I like the beans. Oh yeah.